Hello and welcome to Roll4it. It's the after show of StarGate Horizons.
We are focusing on our spirits because it's Halloween.
We're raising our spirits and there isn't really much Halloween puns you can make about it, apart from it's hobgoblin.
My water.
Spooky.
It's vodka. Don't just pretend it's vodka. It almost looks like a Smirnoff bottle, okay?
I hear that like a million times a day being teetotal. Just pretend it's vodka. Every time.
I feel like that.
It's just a joke, but like I heard it so many times.
I'm sorry. Fine. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were teetotal.
I know.
Just pretend it's Sambuca.
That's a new one.
Just pretend it's gin.
Mother's
you can just stop
ruin.
listing
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
Just pretend it's Kimmel.
Anyway, we played a game
Just
today.
fit sake.
Oh dear.
You don't want that. Sake's a bit grim.
You take that back. I like sake.
Okay. So, I'm very proud of everyone for not dying.
I know. I'm so happy.
I was 99% sure that Red Dot was going to explode.
Yep, I was 99% sure that one person would die, but then like I was also about 50% sure that everyone would die.
I was completely convinced we were all just going to get gradually chopped up by this thing, and one, the last one would just be gibbering in a corner somewhere.
Do you want to know the director's cut ending for that?
Oh.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
You go through the gate, and then we just cut to the SGC where the iris is closed, and there's just a dum,
Yep.
dum, dum,
Yep.
dum.
I thought it was going to happen.
Wonder what that was.
And then
And later
SG-13
they
never existed.
a pizza slice and like what's this? Bloody people coming into our StarGate.
Just a guy with a paint scraper.
Exactly.
Oh dear. I was expecting that. So we're just trapped in an alternate universe now.
For a moment, just before the break, I was like, shit. When I realized the gate wasn't turning off, I was like, he hasn't trapped us on a fucking black hole planet, has he? That would be the worst. That is my literal nightmare.
Being trapped in the event horizon of a black hole.
I need to see that episode. Everyone keeps talking about it.
It's a really good episode. It's season 1.
Yeah,
Wait, was it literally
really
the
early on.
planet that was getting sucked into a black hole?
No, they dialed a planet that was getting sucked into a black hole. And so they could see... Yeah, they had a MALP there as well, and the MALP was like watching the team with the video camera, so they could get the signal from the MALP, but it was horrendously shifted to the red end of the spectrum because it was being stretched by the wormhole. So they translated it back, and they could just see these people like they're like...
Because time dilation!
Because time dilation. And then there was like sci-fi bullshit that happened after that. But that was that first bit.
To be fair, though, the sci-fi bullshit that happened after that is entirely based on the premise that you have a wormhole that can connect space. I'm cool with that.
I mean, it was cool, but the coolest and scariest part is the first bit where you're like, these people are dying in slow motion. They don't know it, but they're dead.
Also, they're being horribly irradiated because, black holes tear matter apart and that releases an awful lot of radiation. So,
That's probably the least of their worries, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't feel the time dilation effects that much until you got into the gravity that would be kind of horrendous.
So what it actually was is that the planet was sort of like a giant electromagnet that was generating power to keep the gate open?
Yeah. The Stargates can take energy from almost any form. They can take it from heat, they can take it from like intense light, they can take it from kinetic energy. I was like, why don't they just... And they can obviously take it from electromagnetic because you hook it up on Earth to cables. I was like, why don't they just do magnets, just pure magnetism? So effectively, you had a global magnetic storm
that's what I
that
figured.
shut down the gate.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just like, yeah, it's electromagnets. Yeah. Because I'm a massive fucking nerd about that shit. Probably a good thing I played a scientist. It was just like, yay! I know about.
The thing that I liked is that I made my character to be an idiot, and so he was just gonna be like, "It's aliens. The aliens are gonna kill us all." But then, because it was the horror episode, everything he said was pretty much true, except when he said it was like the movie Alien. And even then, he wasn't that far off. It was great.
Yeah, that's a nasty way to go, though, having to all thrashing itself to death inside you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about this because, like, if the Naquid is supposed to be explosive, but also really useful because it's so reactive and you can make alloys out of it, literally anything you make with Naquid, including a Gould, is just really explosive.
It depends. Like, the Gould themselves have a trace of Naquid in their blood. Like, it's not enough to really be explosive.
It's like humans having a trace of iron in their blood, but you can't just hold a magnet up against the person and have them go, whoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like zinc or something. It's a trace element.
Also, that toxin, I came up with what it did. Effectively, it binded to the Naquid in the blood of the symbiote and turned the Naquid from the apparently solution or whatever it is of Naquid in their blood and turned it into the crystalline form, which is used in the StarGate construction. And so they no longer had Naquid in their blood, and also they now had crystals in their blood. So it drove them kind of painfully mental.
That would just be like massive internal hemorrhaging, right?
Yeah, basically. And it's why it did nothing to anyone else, because no one had Naquid in their blood for it to bind to.
Yeah, it's interesting that we kept getting shot, and it's like, ow, that hurt a bit.
Yeah.
Ow, my one vitality. Please stop.
Yeah. Because
death by 1,000 pinpricks.
Mm.
In the prelim version, I was like basically invisible super soldier, and I was like, yes, giving them a rapid fire 3d6 blaster. No, that's too much. So I was like, I'm just gonna knife you.
So you started off Predator, and then you went to Alien.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we're just like, oh no, now I'm on 23 out of 24 vitality. Whatever will I do?
Let's face it, my character was like super weak. So, you know, that one vitality, I know I need that.
Well, I was going to stab you. Because the guy hunting you was still a Jafar, so he was smart. Like, he could tactically do stuff. Which is why he tried to avoid the paint and so on. If he noticed something, he would avoid it. And he was totally going to pick off the doctor, but all of you kept saying, no, we put her in the center. And I was like, God damn it.
Thanks, guys, you saved me.
You're welcome. Now you get to talk realities with us.
We were smart by constantly calling her out as being a wimp because she wasn't military.
No, legit, like, it's one of the things that annoyingly would never come up, so you'd never know you did the right thing, but you totally did the right thing. Otherwise, I would have straight up stabbed her.
Thank you for not getting me murdered. I appreciate it. Well, I mean, I did get stabbed, but, you know, it was more of a kind of like, rather than a, You know, it's the difference between an and an
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
My one regret is that we were rushed towards the end, so I didn't have time to describe each of the environments you kept going to.
I felt like we were missing some of the meat of it because of how long things took.
Yeah, setup was a bit of a...
Yeah, effectively each of those environments there were meant to be slightly more complicated. And if you hadn't killed the super soldier, effectively, the assassin, when you jumped in the gate, in the mirror every time, you would have had a fight in each different environment as he chased you.
Oh, fuck me. I'm glad we did, especially the fire one. That was you know, all the underwater fights. I would have just been like...
I really wanted, because swim has been such a contentious skill, I really wanted swim to be useful.
In character creation, we were like, I'm a Marine, but I don't need points in skill. Let's just put them elsewhere, okay?
But what I did is
like a big argument, and then I was like, I'm changing.
My thought process was, I want to be useless, so what stupid skills can I dump points into? So I did demolitions and swim, and then was like, okay, let's have spot, because it'll be fun to see everything. But my reasoning was, I'd spot everything, wander off to investigate it on my own, and get murdered. And but then I also got a feat that makes me even better in physical stuff, including swim. So if a swim had come up, I would have rolled D20 plus 9.
I would have drowned in short order. I really would have.
In fact, I think it was more than that because that's not counting. Yeah, it would have been a D10 plus 11. Sorry. The ultimate swimmer and nothing else.
You know, he was on the swim team.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't like 3rd edition. It's not a good. It's not a good system. Like, some parts of it are cool because there's the core part of Dungeons and Dragons and D20 games that are just really fun. But then there's all the extra.
To an extent, I like how they do skills a little bit because it means that you can choose whether you want to be a broad or a narrow skill. And I kind of like the idea of how they do feats, although I'm not sure I like the implementation.
Too many, I feel like.
No, I like how they take away from the class and they say, build your own class based on the feats, but here's the broad spectrum of your class.
They at least need to lay the feats out better then.
Yeah, that's what I think the problem is for me, is that the feats are poorly laid out, and some of them are like massive gaps between levels, and some of them are narrow gaps, and some of them are basically trash, and some of them are really good. And, it feels like it wasn't a mature enough, like they hadn't got the skills they have now for 5th edition when they were creating a lot of it.
What I'd like to see is somebody translate that system to 5th edition.
What, the StarGate one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of work, though. But
they need to change Dex being so OP and Perception being quite so OP. That's my problem with 5th edition. I especially think if you're taking that to an especially ranged combat system, like Stargate, it becomes ridiculous. Like, it's a problem in 5th. It's not terrible, but it's a problem in a ranged situation.
I've played an assassin snipey type, yeah. So good. Sorry.
I do really love how they did, and it's not a 3rd edition thing, it's a Stargate thing. I love how they did the wounds vitality system. Because I really like how crits are now and the action dice are great as well.
Yeah, because it's not how we use it isn't how it's normally supposed to be, because it auto crit and auto fail on 1s and 20s normally, right? No,
you don't auto crit or auto fail. You auto pass or auto fail. You don't necessarily crit fail or crit succeed.
Oh, okay. So we just got rid of the automatic part, and we got to do the cool action dice bit where you're like, that is a crit I want to activate.
Today I was running my personal rules for that, which is that I kind of think a lot of situations should have an auto pass and auto fail. Specifically, D&D doesn't have that for skill checks. It only has that for attack rolls.
Really?
And I think saving throws. Skill checks, if you roll a 20 on a skill check, but the DC is 30 and you've got a -4 or something, and you roll a 16, and you're like, but I rolled a 20. It's like, yeah, but you still didn't know it.
Right, but 20 critting has always been an on the dice thing.
In 5th edition, you cannot crit succeed or crit fail, auto succeed, auto fail on a skill check. If you're rolling for knowledge or whatever, rolling a 20 doesn't mean you know something.
Right,
it just means you roll high.
For the attack, where it's like auto fail, it's on the dice that you have to have the dice.
Yeah. I mean, everyone gets lucky sometimes, and everyone gets, a bad attack sometimes. Speaking as someone who's done sword fighting, sometimes you're just unlucky.
Yeah.
Right, it's time for me to put this back on. There we go. I've missed entirely with that. This isn't mirrored. This is because I'm hosting the OBS
we need
thing.
to go to Mirror Universe Bentham, where he's got it right.
No, Mirror Universe Bentham. Put it.
I was using the camera. I'm like, this doesn't work because it's not mirrored. So I'm just like, oh no.
It still needs to go slightly that way. It's still slightly off.
You sure?
Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny bit wonky. It's tiny bit wonky.
It's the thing that, after our entire lives of looking in mirrors and having it reversed, we automatically try and do the reverse thing, even in cameras that aren't reversed.
You can reteach yourself, but then it gets more confusing. I don't know.
And then mirrors.
You can
They're
actually change
tricky.
your zoom camera to be mirrored, which is much easier.
I can,
Yeah.
but it'll change it for other stuff. It's normally mirrored, but I'm hosting the thing, so it's got to be right way around.
I tried to do my like Jafar symbol. I think like the first time when I was trying to
I
record the
was
thing.
watching. You're like, oh no.
I was trying to do it in the camera, and because it wasn't mirrored, I was like, what the? I was just like, you know what, sod it, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I actually do my
remember.
makeup in my OBS before I start my stream sometimes, so that's I'm
Yeah, but in theory, your makeup is mirrored, right? It's like symmetrical.
in theory.
That's not. No. Unless you did it both. No, that still wouldn't work. No.
So, yeah, I'm getting better at doing sort of makeup in cameras and things. Because
I thought you were going to just leave it as I thought I was getting better at doing makeup.
I am. I managed to do a rainbow eyeshadow the other day, and it turned out all right.
That's kind of cool.
I'm tempted.
I'm getting better at doing makeup because of this show.
It's an important skill to have for anybody. I don't care. It's if I need to look like not a corpse today. I know.
Or I need to look like more of a corpse today.
Get the brown eyeshadow. I mean, let's face it. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Is just like,
There's only
that's-
two times where I've done makeup-y stuff, and one was to look dead, and the other was to look dying.
Segue. I've only just got my first mirror in this house because deliveries are messed
You
up.
have mirrored cupboard doors. Or wardrobe doors.
yeah, you've got an entire fucking wall of mirror.
For shaving, I can't shave on my carpet. I have to shave in the bathroom over a basin. I don't have any mirrors over basins.
Do you shave?
Right.
I mean, you've got.
It doesn't look
I
like
haven't shaved for a week.
Right, okay.
This is why. I've only just built a cabinet, but the cabinet doesn't go over a basin. I haven't attached it to a wall because I don't have a wall-mounted drill. So it's just sitting
Do you
on
want
the
me to
floor. I'm
bring
like,
a masonry drill down with me?
I don't trust myself to drill through the tiles. I'm like, my dad's got experience drilling through tiles. You know
Yeah.
what? Next time he's down, I'll just ask him.
Surely you just put
Yeah,
a
make
whole
that
bunch
someone
of
else's
pieces of
problem.
tape over it and then drill with a
Yeah.
low speed, sort of like sharp tip drill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you need to make sure you can blame someone else for that when the tile
Yeah.
cracks.
That's. I'll be honest. That's about 80% of the reason. Is just I want to be able to blame someone else when I smash
100%.
my tiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I could
I'll
probably
do
do
it.
that, but then it would be my fault if I've messed up.
I'd just hashtag YOLO.
I do it just to menace you.
I'm just going to bring
You're not staying in my house. My house is new and fancy. No, don't damage my house.
It's fine. It's fine. Look. We're just going to make it lived in.
I can do
Your
that.
character.
Speaking of which, I did actually try and do the drill thing when my dad was here because he was helping me move in, and he was holding the cabinet and I was trying to drill, and we were like drilling in all the holes and doing all the things, and we pulled the cabinet away. No marks on the tiles whatsoever. I was like, what do they make these tiles out of?
What
That's
drill bit were you
impressive.
using?
A new drill bit.
Yes, but what
Yeah,
sort?
but there are different.
Yeah. There are different kinds.
Okay,
There are
I was
wood drill
using
bits.
a wall penetrating whatever it is drill bit designed for going through tile. I can't remember what the term is.
Okay.
And it was the brand was
Makita,
Is
I
it-
think is.
Magnikita. That's the one.
Right. Did you put like painter's tape or something over the tile to sort of?
No, I was going to do that, but we were running short on time.
Ah. Well,
Speaking
there
of
you go
time.
then.
Time is up.
Hi,
Tune
welcome to the after show about DIY and
Tune in
Yes.
next time for more discussion of
How
home
his-
improvements.
But seriously, I've got a hammer action masonry drill. I'll bring it down. We can strap it
Oh
aside.
god, one of the hammer ones.
No.
oh, mine's got a hammer function on it.
Oh dear.
I'm not going to hammer function my tile though.
Yeah, that's
Two-hander.
not. That's not.
Oh no.
Putting holes in tile in a sense there.
Also, I'm just going to just wait a second. Bob is a two-hander. Okay.
Damn right he is. What do you think about Scotland? Come on now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
somewhere, sometime. I'm getting the feeling that exclamation mark pegging is being put into Fuzzy's chat.
They used to go to the mirror universe for that.
No, that's a legitimate chat command I have. In
I
my
know
chat.
it is. Yeah.
There's your
Don't
episode.
worry, I've used it plenty in your
Goodbye.
chat.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you next week for normal
Pegging.
StarGate.
Backpegging.
Oh, God.
Goodbye, kids.